Alright, so give me a rundown of what's about to happen. Like, just quick summary.
Yeah, so these two guys are going to jump through the window.
Alright.
And one of them's going to put a butt plug up your butt. And the other one's going to put the dildo in Hammerman's mouth. And depending on how Hammerman reacts, it's really going to be how it goes from there. Hey guys, and welcome to Break Time episode 47. I'm Alex.
I am Eman.
And thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Break Time. We just want to let you guys know we did film the entirety of this episode of Break Time with our two guests this week, Adam and John. Adam is a producer, and John is a local, how would you say it? Videographer, okay. Yeah. They both do music videos, and a lot of other stuff. You're going to hear the conversation right now. We did lose the first 3 minutes of video, so we have to do the introduction again. Y'all are about to see that right now. But just to remind you, go into the description, check out all the different conversation topics that we hit. If you want to skip around and see what we did talk about. Also, you can check out the link to our Teespring store if you want to support us in that way. But y'all enjoy the podcast. Thank you. We were back at when they met. Yeah, okay. So y'all met in math in Coach Lipson's class?
Math. Freshman year, Coach Lipson's class.
Yep.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, we'll cut that out. Got cut out.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We had technical difficulty again. It's fine. It's whatever.
Happens. Shit happens. But we were an oddly pair of friends who clicked over longboarding.
Head asses.
We were king head asses in the back of the class. Yep. So we were those guys, and we used to just bullshit, get mad. Our coach would get mad at us at least once a day. Fun stuff, good times, stressful times.
Most definitely.
We bullshitted. There's a lot of stress that we put on ourselves, but we got through it, man, and that's how we met. It was a struggle.
The struggle to bullshit.
Yeah.
To not do work.
Exactly, bro. Procrastination.
I think the majority of friends you made in high school were just people that you grouped up with, so you didn't have to work on anything.
Exactly.
Because you didn't want to do shit.
To pass the time.
Yeah. But to go over it again. So y'all met. How did y'all meet? Because obviously that's how you met Eman. And I know you were saying y'all have been friends for a while, but...
Yeah, we met in Brandon. I moved to Brandon sophomore year from East Central. I just walked up to him, actually. He was sitting there all alone, just walked up to him. Ever since then, we became boys. He lived right down the street, honestly. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I like how he says it, he just walked up to him like he was at a dance or something.
Nah, real shit, he was sitting there all lonely.
Damn.
He was all fucking emo back then.
Damn. He's like,
oh yeah, this is
yo
sophomore
girl,
year.
Yo girl, I can show you the world.
Hey, I was scared. Pull that gun out the backpack.
Exactly.
Damn.
He's strategic with it.
Oh shit.
I said, fuck your friendship. I don't want to get shot.
Yeah, he got to this new school and he saw him sitting in the cafeteria with his hoodie like this. And he just had flashbacks from East Central and went, not again.
Oh, shit.
Like, hey buddy, you need a friend? Here's my brownie.
Signs and shit.
That's fucking hilarious.
How strategic is that?
I love that shit.
Fuck.
How's that make you feel, bro, knowing you were the potential school shooter?
You know,
with as many people that I remember from Brennan, you would be towards the bottom of my list, the people that I was worried about shooting up the school.
I would sure hope so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There were some kids I would just see running through the halls having breakdowns, and I'm like, anyone gonna tackle him? Anybody gonna get on that shit?
Real shit.
Goddamn. So, Adam, you guys, you're producing.
Yeah.
And you're the cameraman and/or hammerman, depending on the day of the week. And Tuesdays. Oh god, that sounds like a weird sex thing. Tuesdays, I'm the hammerman.
You already know it goes.
Yeah, he's like hammer. No, so how'd you get into that? And what are you working on? What are you doing currently with it?
Alright, so basically, to start it off, even when we met in high school, I was in and out of bands. My dad grew me up playing drums at 3. We used to listen to AC/DC, Slipknot, all that shit. And I don't know, eventually I just followed my passion, but I started getting frustrated and shit when it was 4 people having to do one thing at the same time. You know what I'm saying? When you gotta get a group of people together to get everybody on the same page is always the biggest battle ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever you could be close as fuck, it's just always gonna happen. So I figured, I was always into hip hop. I love Lil Wayne, Eminem, all that shit. And I don't know, one day I was just listening to music, and I went through a little heavier rap phase throughout the high school years, and I was like, fuck it, bro. I could probably just be my own one-man band, bro. Just sit on my laptop all day and make beats. So I started off on a free program. just hit that shit hard. I was going to college at the time actually that I started producing. So this
What were you
was
going to college for?
post. I was gonna do high school teaching. I was gonna be a math teacher.
Oh,
Bro,
you didn't,
whoa, this is
surprisingly
fucking
enough,
news to
right?
me,
you
dude.
didn't like yourself?
Dang.
No.
I was like, you could have just bought a gun. No, could have skipped the whole high school part.
It was the science behind it was I figured, high school teachers, they get summer, spring, winter, fall, all those breaks, and they're normally like weeks to if not like months at times. And so I figured, that would be time where I could like do music
But
and
why
still have
math?
income.
Was it just because you knew there's not an abundance of math teachers, so you figured there'd be work, or you just found out you liked math later?
It was more of like I was trying to be a band teacher, obviously.
Okay.
And then my family, they ain't really like one to like support like crazy hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they always like trying to talk me out of shit or whatever. So they were like, "Are you sure you want to be a band teacher? Because it's an elective and not every school has it." You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can open your job market up more if you went for a different subject versus like an elective subject. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So I was going for math because like I don't know. I guess the one thing I've always been gifted with is learning shit fast. Like I don't know why. If you show me one thing one time, I won't forget it. And so I figured math would be the easiest part. You just open up the book before class, learn what you got to teach it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Grade your papers.
Yeah, I would never do that just based off of how many math teachers I see have mental breakdowns.
And annoying ass kids.
Yeah, people are annoying as
Fuck
shit in math. Only because nobody actually understands what the fuck is going on.
No, yeah.
So that's why like all the clowns come out in math, because everyone's just like, maybe they won't think I'm stupid if I yell some shit.
I'm good for something. Everybody laugh at me.
Yeah, and you got weird ass people like Thomas who just
Where were you next?
was smart as
that was
fuck.
the year after. Yeah.
who were just smart as fuck and would still fuck with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was always
Fucking
the
love
best
Thomas.
kid.
Damn. Who was the class clowns in our class when we had math together?
Damn, bro. To be honest with you, I don't even remember the students.
I know me either. I was hoping you would. Fuck.
I
Yeah,
barely
I know
even
we had some
remember what the teacher
goofballs.
looked like.
So John, what were you up to as far as like getting out of high school? Did you go to college at all, or were you kind of going right into the workforce, or what was your kind of thing?
I'm gonna start back a little bit further. So since sophomore year, honestly, that's when I started video editing.
Okay.
I was doing photography. I started that in middle school, but didn't get into it too heavy. But anyway, so once I started doing video sophomore year, I just knew that was my love. So no matter what, that's what I was going towards. So I went to Texas State for a semester. I was gonna get mass communication bachelor.
Okay.
Bachelor's degree. Yeah, that's what I was doing. And fuck, I don't even remember where I was going with that.
Is there a reason you stepped out of it, or just?
Oh yeah, no. Hey, fuck bitches, man. That's all I'm gonna say. My ex bitch got me all fucked up. I was going through problems. Fuck bitches, bro.
We found some common ground here.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah, we're both hammermen. Men.
Both hammermen.
Both hammermen. Nah. Yeah, no, I can get that. I can get behind that.
I had to quit school after that one semester, and then I just got that camera, started grinding this shit.
Damn.
Started doing it with him. Ever since then, we've been working at it. So
How long ago was that when you guys linked up?
that was August 25th was the first time I dropped a shoot with him.
Okay.
So,
Damn, I like how he remembers the date and
August
everything.
25th.
Like
Yeah.
August 25th, that's when me and my baby made it official. Rub his
Ring
shoulders
on
every
it.
night. Damn, put a ring on it. Started using unprotected camera lenses.
What does that even mean, dog?
Unprotected camera. I don't know. You take the film off the new lens or some shit. I
I
don't
guess
know.
so, dog.
I don't know.
No.
So, I mean, y'all been working on stuff for a little bit. Obviously, how's that going? Like, is there a lot of work involved? I know you're saying that's what you're doing full time. Is something you're getting paid for yet, or something you're still working towards, or how's that going?
It's a growing process for sure. I was actually living off of it like full time for a minute. I moved out of my apartment and I was literally just making my dough, my cut, straight off of producing. I'd record people, have them over, make their music type shit. I'm no writer. I usually let the artists do whatever they please on it, but for the most part, I just be making beats in my room all day, and
The fuck was that droplet?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
That
no
was
clue.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck was that? You're like, I was like, Mom, there's nothing over there that should be making that sound.
No.
real shit.
Was there like in your humidor? Was it the water maybe?
I don't think so, dude.
That's fucking weird. Anyway, go ahead. That just caught me so off guard. I was like SpongeBob walking around over here, and I was like, shit.
But shit, where was I?
You were talking about how like you were kind of doing it in your apartment, helping other people get their music done.
So it's definitely a growing process, you know. I can't really be making like. Oh shit! Hold on, let me scratch that. Let me fucking.
I like that.
Okay.
Do you? Okay, I'll consider it.
Okay,
go ahead.
All right, fucking. Let me see. So, you know, I was living off of it for a minute, but then, you know, I just fell into a hole or some shit. So you got to get back out of that hole type shit. But yeah, you know, I'm still working. I'm always gonna be working. I've worked with artists like Angel Sing Throne. She's
I know exactly who she is.
Yeah. She's a well-known pop artist here.
Yeah.
Oh, you really know who she is?
Yeah, no, I've met her and talked with her and stuff. At least I believe I have. I met my sister used to do a lot of stuff in the city, and she's recorded her own music and shit. So I've ran into a lot of those local people who do a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, she's a badass, bro. Like,
she's really fucking
so
good.
talented, bro.
Yeah.
And Philip Wolf is
have I met
another
her? Am I thinking of
person.
someone else? I don't know. I just know of her. Either way.
Yeah.
But
Philip Wolf is another person that's really I've worked with quite a bit. And then other than that, just people in and out. You know, anybody that I can make beats for, I'm gonna hop on it. Pop, rap, trap, like anything, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm up for the challenge every time, type shit.
So obviously y'all are doing the music video side of it too, not just creating music. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you come in.
Yeah.
So how's that process?
Well, really, most of the I guess bigger artists I get, they come from him. So he works with them on a song, he makes them a beat, he masters something for them, and then he'll pitch a little bit for me, like, hey, you know that the song's tight, make a video for it or something.
Yeah.
And he'll reference me, and that's how I get a lot of that. You know, also my own clients. So photography is like my side hustle. That's how I try to make some quick cash.
Definitely.
Schedule some shoots, but videos, like I said, that's my love. So anywhere I can get videos, I'm always looking for shit, whether it comes from him or I reach out.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. Yeah.
That's pretty badass. So I mean, I guess what's the process like when you're actually like on the shoot a little bit? Like if you can talk about that, like.
Yeah.
You know, well, just because, like I said, my sister's done a lot of stuff, so I've been to video shoots with her. I kind of see how they do it when I'm working with other people, but I was kind of interested in seeing, like, how your process is. Obviously, don't give shit away, because keep your secrets and shit, but, like, how is that process?
So, you know, it could be 50-50. Most of the time, I'll have them send me a song, you know, a couple days prior at least, so I can just vibe out to it, get some ideas. But more often than not, you know, dealing with a lot of artists is just kind of on the spot. Kind of just, we show up somewhere, wherever they tell me to meet them, and we just start. I just got to start.
Just kind of figure it out as you go.
So who are you mainly shooting for? Is it like pop artists, rap artists? I know San Antonio has a pretty big both pop and rap scene. So who are like most of your clientele?
Mainly rap, honestly.
Mainly rap?
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what I've been doing a lot. And I enjoy it. I'm open to anything, though. Like I said, this video shit, just what I love doing, so.
Yeah. Now, just kind of, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but, like, so I figure y'all do a lot of probably more rap stuff, because that's a whole, because even producers that, like, I've worked with or I've seen work, a lot of them do, like, rap, and when you bring them, exactly, and then when you bring them something else, they're like, oh shit, I can do something else. So do y'all ever kind of get like that? Like you're looking for other things to kind of stretch besides just like that rap kind of hole that everyone is kind of always in?
I would say most definitely, because I mean, just out of any art form that you do, you're gonna want a variety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you always just gotta push yourself to do something.
Expanding, you know.
Exactly. Always just challenge yourself. That's like the best part about the business. I'm sure y'all both know that from just doing like podcasts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, well, just off anything, because I've also done music a lot before in the past. I was in the band for a while at SeaWorld's Aquatica, so I did that for a long time. Yeah, we did like acoustic shit. So anytime I've ever been in a band, it's been like acoustic kind of indie shit. And that's the type of music I like. But yeah, no, anytime you're in that situation, you always want to do more, and then it becomes really hard when people know you a certain way, or when you have a job like that and they're like, just play the Colby Calais song, just play Bubbly, and I'm like, I wanna. And they're like, just do it. So, but yeah, I get what you mean. Definitely, that there's always like a mold that you end up kind of getting put in a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's always just kind of like this yearning to want to break out of it and do other shit besides just, you know.
Well, I mean, I always got the love for the rap. You know what I'm saying? It's at the end of the day, it's always gonna be like what influences me the most. I just love like the funkiness of it.
Definitely.
You can always just make that shit like hella groovy. Like I take my rap influence and put it into like my pop shit or my R&B shit. Like,
and I was gonna ask, man, like when that switch happened, dude. Because when I knew you, bro, you were the biggest like metalhead punk rock type dude ever. And then I see you doing rap. I mean, fuck, it was a huge switch. So like, at what point did that flip switched or that switch flipped? You know what I mean?
That flip switch.
That switch flipped.
Well, back on like the band thing, like I said, it was mostly just like, damn, like I could be my one man band. You know what I'm saying? I'm control. Like if I really break it down into segments, because like as a part-time thing, away from the production, sitting in front of a computer, I travel with like artists. Sometimes we'll go play gigs and I'll do like their guitar work or whatever. Sometimes I'll make like their backing up, like drum tracks or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So there's always like I said, ways to expand yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just got tired of just like having to cooperate with other people, just because like I myself feel like out of my own like natural instincts, I'm more of just a person that has to be like hands on. Like I'm always just spitballing ideas. Like I just can't help it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just comes in, goes out. Like type deal.
Especially when you're dealing with musicians, I feel like you meet a lot of people who are like. Being a musician is one of those things where, by nature, if you're a musician, you like to be in front of people. You like to have your ideas. You want to put yourself out there. So that's why like a lot of bands always break up. That's why there's always arguing, because there's so many big personalities in one area.
And you can't even
everyone's trying
blame them really, because it's their art. Like whenever you work with somebody who has different, especially in a artistry platform like rap or rock or any kind of band where you have a bunch of different artists with different personalities, you kind of gotta shut off your creative expression a little bit to suit everyone else's needs.
Exactly.
And to be an artist and for an artist to say, okay, let me just stifle my creativity to accommodate everybody else, I imagine it's got to suck ass a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably that's probably motivating you to do your own thing.
Yeah. It just kind of cuts out the middleman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we had this girl I used to play with. I don't know if you know her at all, but her name's Celeste. Redhead chick. She went to Brennan for a little bit. But she was in our band for a little bit. She played with us at SeaWorld and all that. And we did stuff with her for a while. And one year we did the talent show with her. And we wrote this song. We did everything. And we were going to play it. And like 5 minutes before, not 5 minutes, that's probably exaggerating, but like 10, 20 minutes before we're about to go on, she goes, "Oh, I wrote this poem. I wanna read while you're like leading in, and then I'll start the song." And me and my buddy Spencer, who was the drummer, we looked at her and went, "Oh, no." she went, "Yeah, but I really feel like we should." And I was like, "No, the song's really long. It's like 4:40 already, and if we go over 5, you're disqualified." And so we had this whole argument with her, and she was like, "Well, when we're up there, I'm just gonna do it." And I was, she said something like, "You're not gonna be able to stop me." And I was like, I was like, "No, we're gonna get disqualified if you do." So we're arguing and shit, and Spencer was like losing his mind. It was like this whole thing. Then we went on. And she didn't do it. We did the song regular, right? But I just remember at the time that was one of those things where, like, you know, we all want to do things a certain way and we're all butting heads. So she went off and started doing, like, her own music and shit. She releases her own shit. And I was showing Eman the song that she did because she does the song. It's kind of like weird. It's her own vibe, whatever she's into. But in the middle, it breaks and there's a fucking poem that gets read in the middle of the song. And I was like, that's stupid as shit. But I'm glad she did it. I was like, I'm glad she found her outlet where she can do that crazy shit.
Yeah, I can't speak because I haven't heard it yet. I imagine that sounds pretty tight. Like, if you make like a genre out of that shit.
Yeah, no, like when it was her thing, it works for her. But like at the time, that was definitely, you know, to get back like around to what we were talking about before, was like everyone's always butting heads. Yeah. And sometimes in this case, it was her. Absolutely. She needed to go off, do her own thing, and that's where she could fully encompass what she wanted to do as an artist.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's what just led me to production, because I just opened my mind up to that. Because think about it, like if you go down like really far down the road, okay, and you're a touring band, you're as big as like, I don't know, whatever, Metallica, Slipknot.
Yeah.
Okay, say y'all get into an argument, y'all can break up the band. That's your money gone. Your whole income's gone. You're fucked. Like you're out of the shit. You have to go look for another band, start up, go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're a producer, you run with your own label. Like you run with like your own set. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a team in this shit. Like we're just gonna keep going. Like he's the visual, I'm the audio. If like for whatever reason, like I highly doubt it's gonna happen. But say like we decided to just like he goes to his own team, I go to my team. We're still gonna be able to follow our careers through our name. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah.
So I met this beautiful girl that introduced me to.
Oh, not me. Sorry. Go right ahead.
She introduced me to a studio one time, like a real well done. And like my dad's in a band. He's like more of a country since we live in Texas.
Yeah.
He like just as much as me, you know, we rep that metal shit. But it's at the end of the day, like you want to be able to make money off of the art that you provide. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Nothing about selling out or nothing like that. I know people have their own stigmas, but like if you need to make your money, you have to adapt yourself into the environment that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever scene fits. So yeah, she opened me up to it. We went to the studio or whatever, and I saw a producer that was there, and he had just a really basic setup. Like, I mean, it was just like really like this room setup. Like, he had a closet.
Basic? No, I'm kidding.
No.
Put $1 million in this bitch.
$1 million.
No.
We put a million pennies into this bitch.
No, but it's just like you work with the shit that you got. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So he had a really like. It was a dope setup. He gets an amazing sound, but it was such like a simple design. You know what I'm saying? You're in your room. He just has a mic that leads into the closet. So I was like, what the fuck? You can get like paid for this? It's always like you're just making music. You help out with like somebody's vision and bring it to life. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't have to look like Kanye's Instagram when he's in studio.
Real
like
shit.
It doesn't have to be this extravagant bullshit.
Yeah. Real shit.
That song, "Send Me Your Location." That shit was recorded with a snowball microphone and like just on a desk, and that was it.
Seriously?
Yeah, and he made millions off that fucking song.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Simple. And we have we don't.
What?
We have a cheap little mic like that, you know what I mean? And that's all it took.
Oh yeah, we do.
Why
you say we don't? We do. We just don't use it.
Snowball though.
Ours is a snow. Oh no, ours is it's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's some good shit. So like I feel like there's a transition going on, man, between what rock is and what rap is, right? Mm-hmm. They've always kind of been the underground, like you're sort of an outcast if you listen to either. But there's like a switching going on. It feels like where rap is becoming like similar to rock. Mm-hmm. So I imagine in y'all's line of work, y'all work with like those kind of artists. Yeah. What kind of fucking characters do y'all come across, man? I want to know because there's some faces, bro. There's always like the fucking cameraman of Metallica always has some crazy story of his clients he worked with. You know what I'm saying? So like, do y'all have any kind of?
You can start that one.
Man.
You're not a name drop, of course, but.
Yeah, we ain't gonna name drop. Some people we're working with recently. Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
Get into the mic a little bit.
Yeah. It's getting juicy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all at an apartment together. We stay working out of, right? Fucking one day, this guy they invite over. He wants to buy some bud or something. They start drinking, and it's just. He stays past his welcome. Everyone's like, hey, you need to go. Hey, you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go. That boy ain't leaving. So it gets to the point because everyone's all drunk. They take his ass outside and they're like, if you don't get the fuck out of here, we're going to beat your ass.
And you're the hammer man, so you gotta uphold that. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling
Pulls out 50 hammers.
This motherfucker was big, bro.
Big, bro.
I'm telling you, he could like...
His name was Tank!
We called him Tank. R.I.P. Tank.
He's like, bro, what do you mean I step out my welcome? I'm like, Tank, you gotta go.
Gotta go, Tank, please.
Tank. You can't even say it seriously. Tank, you gotta go.
This fucker was built, bro. He was crazy, Bill. I'm talking. He could single-handedly take. There was like 6, 7 of us, bro.
Jeez.
And like we're talking like we asked the dude respectively like 9 times to bro just go.
Cause you had to start working, right?
Yeah, you drinking, you faded, bro. Like you gotta go somewhere. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't understand that, so we had to whoop the ass, bro.
Oh my God! Bro. He's like, put Tank over my leg, pull down a hammer, and beat his ass.
Hot and ready, bro.
He's pulling some weird shit though. Like as he was getting beat up, he was like, "Why are you doing this?
I love you."
Like, that shit don't make sense, bro.
Oh
what
shit!
the hell,
That was a
dude?
bad night for him.
You're like, Tank, shut the fuck up.
No, real shit.
Wow.
Damn. See, you can't feel like a man when you're beating somebody up like that, and they're going like,
I love you. I love you.
Why have you forsaken me, God?
The fuck is he on, man?
Sir.
That's fucking
Wow.
amazing. I love you.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
R.I.P.
fucking
Tank.
awesome.
R.I.P. Oh, y'all didn't kill him, did y'all?
No.
He's the hammer man.
No, that
I
was
know,
just,
right?
that
You
was
don't
the
walk away
conclusion
from
of
a
the
hammer.
friendship. Anything that was Tank was concluded. The friendship.
Damn, poor Tank.
Shit.
Poor Tank, bro. I hope you're okay, bro.
You out there.
He probably was confused because
Goddamn.
in one moment he's fucked up, and the next moment he's getting the shit beat out of him.
No, and then he's
So
actually
probably like,
fucked up.
now he's actually fucked up. Damn.
Goddamn.
Now I feel bad for Tank.
I'm just gonna after we do this episode, I'm just gonna I'm gonna get that gif of Iron Man blowing up that tank. And put Adam and John and just put Tank in the background and blowing up. Fucking
up
Tank.
It's live.
That's the fucking best. That's awesome.
You do what you gotta do, man. Shit, I guess. I mean, when it's time to work, it's time to work.
I mean,
Motherfuckers can't be in your creative space,
Tank.
with that shit vibe. So
I just
you
want
gotta
to
beat
Tank
somebody's
now.
ass. You gotta beat somebody's
So I'm
ass.
thinking about every time I see a big guy, now I'm just gonna be like, Tank? No, don't worry about it.
But he has to have a certain stride, bro. This fool gotta be
He was-
walking like.
Oh, I got you.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Yeah.
I bet y'all recorded some bombs that night, huh? All that creative energy.
Yeah, we did a song called Tank.
Did y'all really? Oh, that's
We
fucking
really did.
amazing.
First diss track, nice.
Damn, I know, right?
Dang, but hey man, real quick. So there's a bunch of different types of rap, right?
Yeah.
There's subgenres within rap itself.
Absolutely.
So what kind of what kind of sound do y'all do the most? I mean, what kind of sound are you tired of? And then what is your type of sound that you like?
Okay. Well, really, I just work with whoever comes my way. Most of the people that I regularly fuck with are outside of their own genres themselves. Like, for example, Philip Wolf, I would call him more of a Russ type artist, where he's just that really vibey, but yeah, he could still be played on the radio if you wanted him to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then Angel, when I work with her, she's more the R&B pop. So, it's the diversity within that group itself. And then most other people that I work with, I work with Alamo James, Ransom Watson, just a lot of the local heads out here.
Okay.
Hammerman John.
Fucking yeah. So it's just really, I can say I don't ever get tired of making something. It's not I sit there and I'm like, It's only really like that whenever it's I have to make something by myself for the artist, if that makes sense. Because when I have the person in the room, you know what I'm saying, I could do my thing and then turn around and be like, yo, does this sound good to you?
Oh yeah.
Yes or
Yeah,
no?
because then you can kind of
Bounce
bounce ideas.
Right, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Instead of just guessing what the person might like.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the only time I'm really sitting there shit, damn. But what I would get tired of is just whatever's really super basic. I don't like to make really basic stuff, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it calls for that and I try to add my flavor within it. But sometimes less is more is what I say.
So what is basic?
Well, really just just really straightforward, you know what I'm saying? It don't got much meat or bones, and it's just
3-chord repeating bullshit.
With a bass line and shit.
Yeah.
Cause me myself, I'm more of a engineer than I am an artist with my production wise. I prefer to really sit there and do the math of recording the artist than sitting 8 hours and making a beat for him. You feel me? So I don't want to say I'm a lazy producer, but I'm straight to the point.
Yeah.
But you always gotta add your own flavor. You know, you gotta make yourself stand out. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be noticed.
Or else you gonna sound like every other thing that's out there.
Yeah. So I don't like making low quality music. And by that I just mean anything that you sit there and you can tell they just got fucked up and made the music. You know what I'm saying?
I get what
course.
you mean. Yeah.
I just it shouldn't rely on the drugs. You know, if you gotta use drugs to get in your creative zone, get your foot through the door with whatever you have to. But when you go overboard and you're fucking slurring while you're doing the shit, how am I supposed to do my job? You feel me?
Yeah.
So
because they're not coherent enough to bounce off those ideas, or what they think might sound good in that headspace might not sound good later.
Yeah.
And then you're the idiot who's got to, not that you're an idiot, but you're the guy who's got to go back later when they're like, oh, no, I don't like that. And you're like, fuck, I have to fix that 3 hours of work that you told me you wanted. So So
how is that right now, man? In the whole hip hop scene, man, is drugs really fucking y'all's clients up? Like, I mean, because I know drugs and hip hop these days, hella synonymous.
Bro, fuck these bars, bro. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah, it's fucking everybody up. It's like the new crack.
Yeah, stop.
So I mean, so with y'all being in the scene big time, like, how much of that do y'all see? Like, do the clients ever? They're on that shit big time, and it fucks with the art.
You know, there's definitely a couple times where people come in and they're definitely off some shit that they really shouldn't be, and you can't really tell them much because, like, in the moment, you know, when you, like you said, when you're in that headspace, you're just thinking like, oh yeah, I'm fine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they really not though. Like, and it oftentimes really like interrupts the workflow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would take like 12 hours to complete something that could take like 6-8 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they're not all there. So yeah.
And as long as you just keep your head right, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody, like, it's always back to like the elementary school, like, don't do drugs, kids, where it's just like, if somebody offers you something, you got to be smart enough to say no, bro. Like, I'm straight, bro. Like, if you want to get in your zone, get in your zone. Like, you don't got to be overdoing it, but if it helps you, it helps you. Who am I to say, like, don't do that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's definitely, like, I would say it's a challenge. I don't know how you feel on that.
Nah. See, I can see it more for him since he has to actually, you know, be working directly with, you know, their voices, how they're sounding.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a little more intimate when you're.
It's a little more intimate.
Yeah.
Well, video, as long as they don't look stupid in front of the camera.
I like that. I don't care.
You know, so
yeah.
It's not as bad with me, but there has been times where I've had to deal with people that are just, you know, they're fucking drunk or on bar and fucking. They're just being really extra in the video for no reason.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Nah, I have that issue with Eman all the time. Like, before the podcast, he snorts like 5 lines.
Oh, those caffeine pills.
Yeah.
I took one caffeine pill. This is like, I gotta get you help, dog.
Yeah.
It's actually an
Eman, it's affecting your art. Tank is gonna come in here and fuck you up.
Fuck. That's wild, man. That's wild.
Yeah, and also to speak upon that a little bit further, not to go too much more deep into it, but people that are like really up on that, I feel like, you know, all them little pumps and little Xans, like, y'all should really be like helping the youth. You know what I'm saying? You growing kids up listening to shit like pop some Xans, I feel good.
Yeah.
What are they gonna go do? They're gonna be like, shit, you know, I'm sitting here smoking my weed one day, that weed don't get you as high as it used to.
Right.
You gonna want to try something else. You gonna listen to your music that you fall back to. They gonna tell you to pop Xans, you gonna pop Xans. You know what I'm saying? Then you digging yourself right into a hole, because it's always like, you gonna feel right in that headspace, but at the end of the day, when it's the outside looking in, you ain't good, bro. Like,
it's just mad addictive too.
So
it's mad addictive.
Let me ask you that, because that brings up what I think is a pretty interesting conversation point. Like, do you feel like that scene right now? Because from what I hear, because I'm not as embedded into that kind of stuff as like y'all are, or Eman is, but like I feel that like slowly it's becoming less about like the art of it to some people, and more about like, what crazy shit can I say, or like what persona can I put out to get, you know, kids or the young folks into me. Young folks, like I'm fucking 40. Yeah. Hey, what the young kids want. Yeah. But like, is that something like y'all kind of notice, or y'all see, even if not from your work, that you just see kind of like in that area, like in that industry, in that world?
I want to say, like, no disrespect to the place that I came up, but a San Antonio scene is a fantastic example of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here, a lot of the times they just trying to do their own flex. They don't really want to be supporting the people there and be like, you suck, I'm better. You know what I'm saying?
I see them all the fucking
like,
time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so commonly said, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a sad truth, but like, really, it's like a really huge factor. Like, everybody just wants to flex. They want to get the money to buy materialistic items, you know, sport something Gucci, feel cool.
It's all about flexing, man, putting on fronts and shit.
But it's fucked up, man, because like, people, when they're trying to get to where they want to be, they mimic the people who are doing it and are successful at it, right? Yep. So it's messed up, because in rap right now, sure, you have your Drakes, J. Cole's, Kendricks, but honestly, they're the minority. A lot of these SoundCloud rappers, not knocking SoundCloud at all, but it just it's a place where people can flex, right? And their flex can be seen by a large variety of people, and they can get clout that way. Yeah. Well, so you have these characters who are just flexing, getting hella clout.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you have people that mimic that.
It's kind of like the YouTube thing. Yeah. Because like people aren't necessarily watching the news anymore. They're watching like Philip DeFranco. People aren't watching like like The Big Bang Theory. They're watching like some bullshit on YouTube. Like they're getting their media that way because they like to intake that like low budget, that what is it, like YouTube makes it feel like less of a production and more like you're dealing with personalities and you're getting to know these people. Yeah. So I feel like that's why, like you said, like the SoundCloud artists are getting really popular because they gain their following on Twitter and on Instagram and Snapchat and all that other shit, to where you feel like you know them and then they just pull their following that way. And that's when it turns into just being about the front that they put on, how they're going to present themselves to people, the crazy shit that they're going to say just to get people to go, oh, he seems edgy, I'm going to go follow him, or I'm going to listen to what's being said there.
Yeah, and that's also like a thing. There's a percentage of that, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of flexers within here. But at the same time, to also show some respect to the art of it and the music around it, it's also a really big escape for a lot of people.
Definitely.
Like if you sit back and you listen to like some of the lyrics of like the rappers, like you really think they just talking shit out their ass, but they're really like saying stuff that they go through, you know what I'm talking about? Like it sounds like a real hype turn up song, but they really speaking like shit that they dream about that they can't like get out of their heads, you know what I'm saying? Like a fucked up experience or whatever the case may be, because a lot of the times, you know, when it comes to like SoundCloud rapping and stuff like that, a lot of the artists are also doing like side hustles that are getting themselves into trouble, you know, whatever it may be. It could be like drugs, it could be like, you know, gang affiliations, whatever.
Becoming
like,
a math teacher.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, bro? Tekashi 6ix9ine actually a math teacher.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, no, like I said, it's just
like,
it's
bro, that math's bringing you down, man. You ain't the same anymore since you started multiplying.
Calculus fucked you up, dog.
Yeah, but like I said, it's also a lot of escape for people. Like it could be a really good thing. That's why I also enjoy it too, because it's like I could be the voice for the people that don't have a voice at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you could talk about something that you really went through.
Good shit, man. So like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of trends going on right now. People are trend writing. It's what a lot of people do. Not knocking it. It's cool. There's a lot of good art produced from that. But like I was saying, man, it seems to be taken over by flexers a little bit, right? At least the subculture of it. So I always like to ask people.
Hey, shut up, no.
I always like to ask people who are more in the world than I am. Like outside looking in, the rap game looks a little fucked up right now. At least the mainstream side of it. But with y'all being in the actual studio, working with the actual creatives, do y'all see any kind of silver lining? Do y'all see a new trend on the horizon, or is it just what I'm seeing on World Star and shit?
You could take that one, bro.
Sorry, I was getting him to get that off.
I don't know, bro. You're more in the studio than I am.
I would say, fucking. There definitely is a lot of trends, especially with like if you do your research. The Migos flow definitely took over crazy, bro.
Jesus,
Ever
dude.
since they dropped that Versace, people been hopping on that triplet wave. You know what I'm saying? Everything got a you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's definitely that, but at the same time, like I said, it also like expands because. You know, what one artist may do, they may do something similar, but it's also their own flavor, you feel me? So I feel like in any way that somebody creates, like, music or anything, it's all art at the end of the day, you know? You can cookie cut it as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, you know, like, I've also, like, opened my mind up to, you can make whatever you want. You could be whatever the definition of the worst, like, rapper or singer, whatever. Like, there's in my book there ain't nothing as like the worst somebody or anything like that. But if you could think about that, like picture that, there's always gonna be a fan of the person that makes that music, no matter what the case is. Like, you can make the shittiest, like I don't care, like
like Nickelback.
Like Nickelback. Jesus.
Hell yeah, and there's always gonna be a fan out of it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's always gonna fuck with you, bro. Always.
Yeah, people like you, Eman. I don't get it.
People like me. Well, dude, my playlist is pretty it's pretty fucking out there. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, man. It'll go from Aerosmith to Zeppelin to Outkast to Tekashi, Lil Peep. Like, it's all over the fucking place. So I have an appreciation for the lowest of the low type rap, man, because throwing like last night.
What's
A
up?
little kickback we had.
Yeah,
Can you imagine if I was playing some just contemporary R&B type shit? Like the artists that come out of SoundCloud for the most part right now, they produce a sound that's good for a certain sector of hip hop that I feel like is necessary. Like I don't want to be in the club listening to J. Cole for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Love J. Cole, but time and a place. Yeah. So I feel like, dude, I feel like rap is kind of a reflection of what's going on right now, man. Like there's a whole lot of bullshit going on with Trump. Whatever side you stand on doesn't fucking matter, but everything seems to be in turmoil, right? So motherfuckers want to just escape and just party. Like that's their escape from life. And so I feel like that's why these Lil Peep characters, these Tekashi guys, they're so big. You know what I mean? But I don't know where you guys stand on that at all. But that's just how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, real shit. That's real shit. Like I definitely like see what you coming on because like a lot of the times, I've never gone through it personally. But I've heard of like many artists, you know, making their music, doing their thing, and they get people that come up to them like bawling their eyes out saying you helped me when I was in the lowest part of my life, you know what I'm saying? So like there's always like I see music as an escape for a lot of people, whether you're making it or you're listening to it. You know, like it can either help you or it could just like open you up to stuff, you know. You can always learn something new if you're listening to something like, you know, they may throw in like words or some shit like that, but it's always just a positive movement when it comes to like music and art. So that's why I really just like any of the trends that are going down. Yeah, sure, like a lot of people may sound the same, because you know there's always like influences in anything that you do. You know, you create something original by building off of something that you fuck with and putting your own twist onto it. So I think the trends is definitely like, yeah, it could be like mixed up a little bit more, but I think it creates like a solid foundation that evolves in music eventually, because hip-hop now is nothing like what it was back then. Both flow-wise, cadence-wise, production-wise. Like you could listen to a hip-hop beat from the 90s and listen to like, I don't know, a hit that dropped like 2 weeks ago or something, like a Drake song.
It's crazy shit, dude.
Stupid, like different, dude, like crazy.
It's like I was saying, bro. It's rock now. Like it's that type of energy that it brings, dude. It's fucking rock, man. I used to be that guy back in middle school who would look at these like punk rock type characters with green hairs, tight jeans on, the scene kids, whatever. Yeah. And then I would hear their music and it just sounded so fucking evil. And I would be like, oh, those fucking weirdos. Then I put on some Biggie Smalls. When I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell. Like, there was no difference between what I was listening to, but it was just the type of energy that it brought. Yeah. But now we have the same energy to match it. So it's a lot of weird shit, man. It's a lot of weird shit. But I was going to ask a fucking question. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, man. So, like right now, me and you, we're kind of in the corporate ladder a little bit, right? We both work full-time jobs, doing the full-time lifestyle, 9-to-5 shit. Yeah. That's a struggle in itself, right? But you hear commonly there's no kind of struggle like maybe being an athlete or like a starving artist type struggle. So like you guys are both in the trenches right now. You guys are working, building your brand, building your name. What kind of what's that struggle like?
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Everybody's gonna drop some shit.
I know. Get off your chest, dog.
Look, I already know these are gonna be the fucking hardest times of my lifetime making something with this, and I'm prepared for that. Whether I'm gonna go to bed not eating, or I'm gonna have to sleep in my car breaks down, I don't got a way to go anywhere. I'm gonna be walking everywhere. No matter what gets thrown at me, I'm gonna make this shit work. Like, fucking, I say it's struggle right now because we're just starting up. You know, we gotta work with what we got. You know, we don't got the best equipment, but we have quality as far as our knowledge goes. Like, we've been doing this for a minute. He's been working with music for a long time, been working with video for a long time, so we know what we're doing in that sense. But it's just more about getting that recognition for it. So we gotta charge low at first. We gotta work our way up. So right now, this is all I'm doing as well. I don't have a job. I just do videos, photography. Yeah. But it's just like whatever I earn that week, whether it be low or like small amount or kind of a larger amount, it's just that's what I got to work with until I get my next video, until I get my next photo shoot. So it's definitely a struggle, but it's a struggle that no doubt I know will pay off.
Was there a moment in that struggle where you were like, fuck, what am I doing? This is mad far-fetched.
Fuck,
like,
yes.
I bet there was. What's that like, both y'all? What's that like? Like, what was that moment like for y'all?
I'm going to say honestly and truly, because I've been on him about it. He's gotten more like that than I have. you know, I get down sometimes, as in like I get sad sometimes and shit. But for the most part, I haven't let shit hit me like that, because I just have my mindset on like the universe reflects what you want, you know, what you put out
speak
there.
shit into existence.
So I'm saying,
you know
like,
what
I'm saying no matter what, like, I'm gonna make this shit, and I am gonna make this shit, because I'm putting the work out. I'm consistently trying to hit this shit, and whether people, you know, hate on me or not, like, they're gonna watch the next video, and they're gonna keep watching. It's just like, I'm just gonna keep growing. He's just gonna keep growing. So I haven't let that shit knock me down yet. You know, and there may come a point it does, but as of now, no, that shit hasn't hit me, because I'm just trying to keep my head on straight. Just keep working.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, because I imagine even though it can suck sometimes, maybe you're not making the money that you want to make.
It's
you're
stressful,
doing,
no doubt.
yeah, but you're doing what you like doing.
But I love it.
So yeah, so there's definitely, and I'm sure that, like you said, there's gonna be points where it's shitty. But at the end of the day, how many people like me and this schmuck have to go to a goddamn job, and y'all get to like do fully what you love, and you're making money from that. Like that in itself, I think is pretty badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I was gonna ask y'all this: is there anything currently like right now that y'all are working on? Are y'all like in the middle of projects? Are y'all always kind of working on shit, or are y'all kind of like looking for your next project right now? Like, what's going on with y'all currently?
Well, we're both kind of like, so basically we run under the No Offense name. He's shot by Offense because he's a cameraman, and I just go by No Offense because I started it. Like,
yeah.
I've only been producing for a year. So he does his work. He gets his own clientele. I get my own clientele, and sometimes we mash them up together. You know what I'm saying? But it's never like he doesn't come to me for projects, or I don't go to him for projects, like for permission based on projects. Like, if he's doing something that he has a spot on, he'll be like, I already got the guy for it. Yo, Adam, come over here. Let's talk some business. We're going to get this situated on how you can do some work with this. And vice versa with him, you know, everything's always just a collateral damage whenever it comes to us. If he shoots a music video, I have somebody that can mix and master your song, and just try to put out quality versus just like something that just goes up on the internet, you feel me?
Yeah.
So as far as projects go, me, I'm always just in my room, just from, you know, 9 in the morning till 2 in the morning, like straight that long ass day. I'm just in my room just making beats. Like, I try to pull out like 10 at a time and send them just to random ass people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know who's gonna hop on it, and it's always just beautiful too whenever you send out something. I don't know for any other producer, but for me, like, I just can't hear people when I rap, like when I write the stuff. Like, I don't, like, I'll try to rap over my stuff a little bit. I'm not really a rapper, but like I'll just try to, like, you know, scat it a little bit, get a feel for it. But when I finish that product, I have no idea what somebody's going to do with that, because they always hear something different than when you're making it. You feel me?
Definitely.
You're always your own worst critique. So, yeah, I just got some undercover projects. I don't know how much I can speak on any of them, but I definitely do have some different sounds that, you know, I'm trying out that I'm going to be able to put out. Philip Wolf is releasing a new album. And I got the intro track on that, so it's pretty cool. I just try to get my work in any way that I can. You know, it's always like the equal amount of gratification when something gets posted, rather if I helped write the song or just made it sound like better with the mixing or mastering. Like, not better, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you
make it sound tighter, make it have that flow. Definitely.
Yeah.
What about you? You want to hit that?
Yeah, you know, I got a new music video. Fucking haven't started it yet, but started at some point in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Shout out Fonzo.
Oh, Fonzo.
Free that boy Fonzo.
Free Fonzo. Where the hell's Fonzo at?
Hey, but look.
He's like,
we'll get into that later.
He's like, I didn't tell you who killed Tank.
Left that part out.
It's Fonzo.
Louis Green.
Louis Green. Really?
Yeah.
Fonzo Johnny.
Yeah.
Really?
No one Lewis in middle school.
I just saw him like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I like walked up to his house.
Okay, I'll be honest, man. When I first met Louis Green, cool dude, whatever, but he was kind of geeky. It was like 6th grade when I met the dude. He goes away to Briscoe, and then I see him. Then I see him on the internet. He's rapping and shit. So I was like, what the fuck is this dude doing? He rapper. That motherfucker can spit, man.
No,
that dude's got some serious talent.
So talented, bro. Like,
I was kind of surprised, dude. I was kind of surprised.
It's Milwaukee video, bro. It's about to go off.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. That's some good shit, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, I was gonna ask earlier, man. So like, rap right now just I believe surpassed country or rock, or I think it was rock.
I think everything surpasses country.
Exactly. But just surpassed rock, I believe, for the most listened to genre of music ever. So obviously a lot of motherfuckers are flocking to it, right?
So easily accessible nowadays.
And it's easily accessible. So it's a crowded market, man. It's a crowded market. And the guys that make it from fucking your Tekashis to your Drakes, they all made it because even though it's a crowded market, they somehow brought their own sound. So you got to really have your own twang to your art, especially in this art form. So what do you guys feel like y'all add individually that'll make your shit stand out from everything else you hear on SoundCloud, WorldStar? Like, what do y'all bring to the table?
I say honestly, like, it hasn't been something I've incorporated much yet, just because of I don't have all the equipment I need yet. But when I do, I'm telling you, I really fuck with Cole Bennett as a video director. I just like the effects he puts in his videos. I think it's really new school style.
He also does music videos.
Yeah.
He's Lyrical Lemonade.
You ever seen any videos from him? Did Ski Mask?
No.
Yeah, he's done a lot of videos. They're pretty popular. You should look him up. He does cool shit.
Okay, I've probably seen him, but go ahead.
Yeah. But so, I love I want to be doing a lot of crazy, cause visuals. I love visuals. So I just want to have shit that messes with people's eyes and shit. But at the same time, I'm really picky with audio cues as well. So I just want to make sure my shit always has to flow.
Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But effects is what I want to be doing a lot of when I get the opportunity.
Is what's the guy that Cole Bennett?
Cole Bennett.
You know Little Skies?
Yeah.
Yeah, you seen his music videos?
Can't say I have, bro. I just hear him on like Spotify and shit when I'm at the gym. Like, okay, there's a new like trend. It looks like in visuals where it's that weird look where ASAP did it in his video.
ASAP has a lot of crazy ass.
Is he using that guy Cole Bennett?
No,
he's not. Okay,
but
that's the only visual I can think of.
He has I forgot what their name. That AGWE whatever. They do a lot of crazy shit too. I like their visuals too. Really, anything that plays with the eyes. You can since I do videos, I can tell when it takes a lot of work for a little ass visual. Like, you gotta respect that because it's work. It really is to be doing some of these visuals people are putting out. So I just can't wait to be hitting that shit as well.
Good shit, dude.
Yeah, and as far as my input on that, I just feel like whatever. I make weird shit sound good sometimes.
It's a weird ass sound. I'll be sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
He's like, one time I did a whole song, birds chirping.
Real
shit.
Real shit.
Bro, I heard a stand-up comic. You might know him, a little guy by the name of Jerry Seinfeld. He was saying that in his stand-up, Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, you really? Oh, he's fucking with me.
Man, I was hoping he was serious. I was about to go. He's one of them indie comics, real small,
real smart.
underground.
But he was saying how he tries to. I forgot how he worded it, but he says he something to the effect of like he gets you fucked up with irrational thinking, but then reels you in with logic. So he'll say some shit like Hillary Clinton has a penis, but then by the end of him explaining it in his joke, at the end it'll make sense. So, like, is that something that you do where you're like, bro, I'm going to get a sound of an elephant farting and I'll make a fucking hit out of that? Like,
bruh, I was in the studio the other day working with an artist that I fuck with, and I pulled up YouTube because I was trying to, different sounds bring on different vibes. So for this one, normally whenever I make music, I usually struggle with writer's block. As strange as that is, like, I know a lot of people don't really have to deal with that. I know artists that have said they never experienced that. But oftentimes when it comes to production, you're really the one that starts off the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, the song really starts off, like, an artist cannot rap without a beat. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously poetry and stuff like that. No diss to them, but, for rap and, like, the scene that we talking about and that we work in, they one can't happen without the other. You feel me? So there was actually one time I went up on YouTube and I pulled up a video of a whale, and it was just somebody on a boat, and they were just filming it, and like they put the camera underwater, and it had like the whale like singing or whatever.
Okay.
And I was just sitting there, and I was watching the video, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I can make this sound cool. And I threw that bitch in a beat, bro.
That's
like
badass.
I bet it was badass too, bro, because it's some shit you never expect, man. That's pretty fucking sweet, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to Tank, the beat in the background is just the punches on Tank's face.
I love you.
Why you doing this, man?
Yeah, bro.
But just to like sway it a little bit from talking about us, I don't know if y'all went in on this on any of y'all's other episodes, but how did y'all come together, and you know y'all's struggles, if any, with the whole podcast situation?
Shit, we're in the hot
well,
seat.
There you go.
Yeah.
I get why these
shit.
guests get
There you
nervous
go.
sometimes. Fuck.
Get out! No, I'm kidding. Like whipping around. Why are you talking to me?
Exactly.
Nah, so me and Eman, we used to do, it's like in middle school? Yeah, in like middle school. So me and Eman always really liked playing characters. And
Y'all
like,
were in theater,
Bill-
right?
Yeah, we
in
were.
high school, yeah.
Gay. Is the other way you can put it. And so we used to do like YouTube videos like in middle school because like we wanted to like do stuff where like we could make people laugh, and like we write out these whole stories and film these series and shit like that. So me and Eman have always kind of been the type of dudes where like if we're sitting at a table or like we're at a kickback or something, we're making people laugh. Like we like to entertain people. So for the longest time we kept talking about like, dude, let's have a podcast so we can, that'll be our outlet, one, to talk with other people, to get our thoughts out there, but also me and Eman have a pretty good rapport because I'm very different and old and white, and Iman's very black and hip, and
He's
so
Mexican. I don't know why he says. Go ahead.
well, just because everyone tells me I have white cadences. And
You
shit.
can pass for a white guy.
Shut up. But like, so we kind of have like that good rapport, and like we're also different enough to where we can get different perspectives on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So the podcast really ended up just being we love doing that, but also we love to have at least for me, I love the idea of having like this back catalog of like our thoughts and who we were talking to and how our life was at the time. Because like I was just listening to an episode from like 10 episodes ago. I was re-listening to it, and back then I was with my girlfriend of 7 years, and just the way I was talking about her and all the things that I was focusing on, and Eman was like, oh yeah, I've met this chick recently and all that. So like just kind of like the way that it's changed just from then to now.
Yeah.
Like now things are really different. The girl that Eman was talking with is now like his girlfriend. They seem to like each other. I don't know. But the point is like for me anyway, I really love doing it because, again, we get to meet people, we get to talk to people. Right now, the whole reason we're doing guests right now, I mean, before we would have guests, but the whole reason we're like having guests every week right now is because we're leading up to episode 50. And in episode 50, we're getting drunk and shit, and doing like a podcast drunk.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the workup
Yeah.
to that. Like, so we're having guests on. And it's something we're going to continue to do, but right now it's like this big thing where we want to get people's stories. We want to talk to them and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
See, it's a positive movement all around, no matter what you're doing. And, you know, the industry, you always helping somebody or somebody's helping you. Or
Definitely.
like, y'all can just, like, y'all really, you never even know, dude. Like, you could be interviewing somebody or just having a podcast with somebody, and, you know, they end up blowing up down the road, and they can just, like, reflect back on this. And look back on it. Like, I fuck with y'all shit. Like, real talk. Like, sometimes.
Vice versa, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. Like, there would be times where, cause for me, like I said, I gotta have people in the room when I'm making beats. Like, or like if I really want to make a good one, cause then you know you can bounce off ideas. But when there's not people there, I normally just like to put shit on in the background. Just to, bless you.
Thank you.
Just to have like help. You know, generate the mood and shit, and like I'll fuck with y'all shit, you know what I'm saying? I'll put y'all on, and I'll just be sitting there and like listening and making shit. Like,
I'm glad I know that, because now like every now and then, just like in the middle of the podcast for no reason, I'll be like, I'll be like, Adam, that doesn't sound too hot. Nah, just like randomly. Yeah, like Adam, what the fuck you doing? Adam be like, what am I doing?
Adam, more snare, dog, more snare. But now, like to answer that question, man. So I did photography in high school, man. I fell deep in love with photography, and that's real similar to videography. But the reason I like it so much, man, because I had a genuine fascination with people, whether it be fucking the president or somebody you walk past on the street. I always felt like everybody had a story to tell, like everybody, just because they had live a life different from your own. And so that's why I like photography, because I was documenting their story. But as I got older, I graduated. It wasn't really an outlet for me. I couldn't do journalism anymore. So I wanted to get people's story, but in a different outlet, right? And it also expressed my own story. And so we used to work together. We worked at his dad's company, which is a water softener company, and we would do door-to-door sales. So we'd be in this work truck all day, just cruising around San Antonio, having the coolest fucking conversations, man. And I always liked his perspective. He's always respected mine and liked my perspective. And we said, dude, if we were mic'd up right now, I'm sure we can get a small crowd to listen to us and really like vibe with us. And I just kept saying, hey man, let's get a fucking podcast going. And shit, my phone's ringing. And so
unprofessional.
I know, right? Fucking A. But hold on.
Oh man, I was gonna answer it.
I got you, Ethan. I'll call you back. But
Oh, is it Ethan? It's my boy.
it was Ethan. But what was I saying?
About conversations in the car.
Oh yeah.
Get an audience.
So like finally I went, bro, fuck this. Next week we're doing a podcast. Next week was like a few days away, and so I sat right there, ordered the mics up, and boom, we're doing a fucking podcast. It was small setup in my room.
Yeah, like the night we're recording the podcast, we're like, what are we gonna call it?
Yeah.
We came up with a name in like 5 seconds, as you can tell.
Break time, so.
Yeah,
man.
break time
But
sounds cool.
It's been some cool shit. I met some cool people, got some cool perspectives, and a lot of the viewers seem to like it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
surprised.
we don't get like thousands of views or anything like that.
Start off
But
some way.
oh yeah, no, but like we're getting a few people to listen. But then
Exactly.
we're looking at our analytics, and slowly we're growing, and slowly like people are really receptive to it. The biggest thing is we don't have like tons of people watching, but we have people that watch for an amount of time where I'm like, okay, people are at least getting the message. So even if like, 60, 70 people are watching, and they're watching for like, 1,000 minutes between them all, that's a lot of content that they're consuming of ours, which is always super fucking cool to me.
Yeah.
So
there's no way you can work your ass off with no reward, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
Definitely.
You can't just work hard and get absolutely jack shit out of it. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like that, y'all are gonna grow just as much as I plan to grow. Like doing this, like, production investment and stuff like that. You always just gotta speak shit into existence and
definitely.
put your
Exactly.
money where your mouth is. Type
Yeah.
shit.
Invest in yourself.
Fuck
Exactly.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I know, because hopefully this summer, I mean, our big thing is we're trying to upgrade the set and our quality and shit. Like you're saying, like with your camera and stuff, like you want to get to that point where you can do that. And that's something we've always been kind of leaning towards and wanting to do, but I think now we're getting close to the point where we're going to do it. And now, like I said, slowly, I mean, we've been doing it for this long already, so now it's like at a point where it's not like, oh, it's just some bullshit we're doing for right now. It's something that we really enjoy, so we definitely want to invest in it and do a lot more with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's a good place to wrap up this episode. Guys, thank you very much for being on. Where can people find y'all? Like online, where can they see your work? Where can they check you out and shit?
Me personally, I'm on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter. My Instagram is offense.made. Twitter is offense.made, one word. And you can also check me on SoundCloud if you go on No Offense, 2 words, all capital, $ for an S.
Okay.
Yeah, you catch me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Instagram is @offense.shot. Twitter @offense.shot, one word. YouTube is, I believe it's #shotbyoffense, all caps.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. And where can they find you, Eman? I'm kidding. Nobody cares. No. But guys,
Find me on MySpace at
you can find me on MySpace.
Tinder.
Wow.
Baby shit.
You can find me at eman.chatroom.net. But guys, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was great talking with you guys.
Real talk. Tight.
Hopefully if Tank ever hears this, he doesn't feel too upset about it. Yeah, it's all love, Tank, except it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't want no 7'9" motherfucker showing up on my doorstep. Hey, you Eman talking shit? No. Yeah, I'm
You
good.
just gotta point to the white guy across the street. That's Eman.
Exactly right.
And then Eman's gonna be like, "Why are you doing this? I love you, man."
Looking up at a 90-degree angle, he's so fucking tall.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Break Time, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.